strong business by never running out of people to sell to, right? Sounds great, but how do you start this process? Today we're going to talk about how to grow your business even if you aren't very networked at the moment. Welcome to the Creating Opportunities podcast. This is the place for smart, ambitious professionals to build authentic relationships, to have success in every area of their lives. And I am your host, Cassandra Thompson. I am a speaker, a trainer, a coach, an iced coffee lover, and I want to help you build better and deeper relationships for a bigger, fuller life. So let's start talking about how we can grow our businesses. It feels like we maybe don't have the biggest network in the world right now. So today our goal is to figure out how to build out your network in ways you maybe didn't even realize were possible. But before we get into that, I want to take a minute to talk about what growing your business looks like in terms of relationships. So we are not selling to friends and family, okay? I'm not gonna do an MLM thing here and tell you, just start with the people you know and selling your products to them. No, okay? And we do not sell to anybody the first time we meet them, okay? We wanna build authentic relationships and know and trust that relationships bring reciprocity, and we're gonna give a lot more value than we take, but there is a place for both. It's just not at the initiation step. Our goal in any relationship is to always get to know the person, get to know what they need, what they're looking for, what they need help with, what they're working on right now, and then either asking for referrals to other people or wait until we've built the relationship to a point where it's appropriate to make an ask. So those initial conversations will help you grow to other conversations that in turn build your business. So really, this is a patience game and a trust game, but it does pay off. So the first place we want to start is with dormant ties. Now, I talked about this a little bit in the last episode, but dormant ties are essentially just anyone from your past that you were somewhat close to, or could have been titled maybe a warm tie, that you've just lost touch with. So I like to think about this as the people that were my coworkers 2 jobs ago, or even 1 job ago, or the people I knew from church before I moved states, things like that. Just people from your past that you've lost touch with. Basically, life happened and you lost contact. There's no bad blood, nothing happened, just life got in the way, which don't we all understand that idea at this point? But the beauty of the world we live in now is when you move, you probably didn't change phone numbers, or you didn't change emails, or your LinkedIn and your Instagram are still the same. So while we technically have lost touch with people, we still have ways to contact them. But these are great people to get in touch with because there are studies that show that dormant ties often have better ideas and more interesting networks for you to plug into because they've gone out and they have different circles, right? You're not like, this is a really rudimentary idea that I'm doing with my hands right now, but if you put both hands, if you're listening to this, if you put both hands and made like rings, if you were both in the same area or working at the same job, your connections overlapped a lot. But now that you're farther apart, that you've moved cities, moved jobs, etc., you only have a little bit of overlap and you have a lot more white space of new people they know and new people you know that you can help each other. So they're a great place to start. Start getting in touch with dormant ties. What this means is just remember, we're not selling to anyone right now. We are just saying, hey, I thought of you today. I would love to hear what's going on with you. Now, here's the key with this. You need to actually care about the person. If we are so focused on the sale, we are not caring about the individual. We're only being selfish and thinking of our needs. So really, a mindset for all of this is I'm just gonna start re-engaging with people from my past and hearing what's up with them and where they're at and seeing how I can help and contribute to them. And hopefully it'll get returned to me as well. Or when the time is appropriate, I will make an ask. But we lead with care. So I'm saying start with these dormant ties, the old friends and coworkers, even before people you know, because they have much more interesting circles to introduce you to. So if you're still like, okay, but I don't get how this works, you're gonna ask them about them. You're gonna see what's going on with them. My hope, if they're a kind person, is they'll also say, what's going on with you? And then even talk about what you're up to. And if it's appropriate, you might at this point say, yeah, if you know anyone looking for these types of services, please keep me in mind, or I'd be happy for an introduction. But You're not gonna make a hard ask or say, is this something you would like, or would you like to jump on a sales call? None of that. Just getting in touch with people and planting the seed of letting them know what you do, maybe making a soft ask. But start with those dormant ties. And we're gonna start with people we know, but only the people we know that make sense to what we do. While I am a huge proponent of you don't know who other people know, so be willing to tell everyone in your world what you do, in terms of growing your business and trying to build a network that makes sense, we're gonna start with the people somewhat related towards what we wanna do. So if you're a local business owner, like your business is maybe a boutique storefront in your town, you are going to want to start by talking to your friend who also has a boutique business, or maybe your friend who takes her kid to the daycare next door, because that friend can give you an introduction to the owner of the daycare and you guys could collaborate in some way. You know, like the ideas are endless, but what you're not doing is going, oh, I have a local boutique in Wichita, Kansas, so let me go start with my cousin who lives in New York City. Like, doesn't make sense, but some people really will do that sort of thing, and it's just kind of a futile waste of time. And again, we don't hard sell to these people. We start a conversation, talk about what we're doing, find out what they're doing, see how we can help them. They help us too. And it's things like, hey, could you give me a referral to this person? Or this is the type of person I'm really trying to meet. If you know people in this area, please let me know about them. But you are not saying, and are you interested in my product? Or are you interested in advertising with us or whatever? None of that. It's, let's help each other out and grow each other's businesses. Or, you know, let them know why they came to mind and why you wanted to talk to them. So maybe it is your best friend's brother who works in an industry related to what you do. I would say, you know, thanks for meeting with me. Look, I'm not doing this so that you'll buy my product. I don't want you to feel pressured or used in any way. I just want to get some information about what you think would be helpful as I promote this to this industry. Or, you know, there's a myriad of ways you could do this, but the idea of letting them know up front, I'm not selling to you. I just was hoping you could help me out. I want to see how I can help you out in return. Okay, this next step is one that I've been doing and really enjoying, and that is re-engage your LinkedIn connections. So this sounds really obvious, but people don't do it. I think because we think we have to be clever and we don't. You probably, like me, have a lot of LinkedIn connections that you just connected with over the years, but you've done nothing with them. They're just in your connections. You don't really know him, or you don't remember where you met him, or it's been 10 years because you've had LinkedIn that long. Go through those connections and start just reaching out and being really honest and saying, hey, I know we're connected on LinkedIn, but we don't really know each other. I want to change that. Tell me a little bit about you. What are you working on right now? What do you need help with? I like to add in a line that this is not a sales ploy, because remember, we're not selling to them at the beginning. This is not a sales ploy. I just want to get to know you. You're going to get from their responses who is going to be a potential fit to sell to down the road, who is not even active in your network, and who's just going to be a great follow-up for a bunch of different reasons. Plus, you just get to learn about other people, and it helps in that overall idea of we need more relationships in our lives again. So start re-engaging your LinkedIn network. Highly underutilized, really simple thing to do that could create great benefits and rewards for you. Okay, so the last thing is you need to exhaust all resources. Here's what I mean. You might not feel very networked, but we live in a world where there are so many different places where you can meet people. So many different places where you probably already know people, you just haven't exhausted those resources. You're not gonna exhaust them all at one time, but here's what I want you to do to feel good that you will never run out of people to talk to. You are going to make a list of everywhere that you could go to build relationships or ask for referrals. Like literally make this list. I don't care if it's a Word doc, your notes app, a piece of paper if you're a handwriter like me. Make an actual list to help you on this. So here's just a few of the things it could include. On top of your friends and family, who again, we're not gonna sell to, but we may end up having to ask for referrals to other people one day. What associations are you a part of? Where did you used to go to school? Are you an alumni of? Where did you used to work? What church do you go to? What past churches or religious groups groups did you go to that you know people at? What Facebook groups are you a part of? Or Instagram follows do you have? What about family friends or friends of family that you see at birthday parties and social gatherings? Write this list down. You don't have to write each one of those people, but write these categories, write the different associations, etc. This list is just to help you remember there is always another way to go back to the well and find new people. But you are not tackling this whole list at once. It is just to give you reassurance. So choose one category from that list. After you've done these other steps we've talked about, if you feel like, okay, I still need to make more traction, I still have more time and bandwidth to build more relationships, choose one of these areas and start tackling it. Start building relationships there. Now, I want to end this by emphasizing again that this can really start getting too heavy on sales. Yes, sales is what we want. I totally understand that. But it becomes a very selfish mindset of, I need to meet these people so that I can tell them what I do. And then it just becomes all about you, right? This is I give this example all the time. This is getting the happy birthday message and then saying, by the way, I'm a financial advisor if you ever need help. Like what? We turned it from being about me to being about you immediately. So we don't want to become that person. Go through this from the angle of, I'm just going to grow my network of relationships. I'm going to get to know as many people as I can in an intentional area and then see what happens from there. And of course, we don't just reach out once, we don't just talk with someone once, we follow up and we build the relationship. And to learn how to build those relationships, I give some tips on that in this video over here or in this podcast episode on building deeper connections in 2024. You can grab that in the card over here or in the show notes below. And if you need help on how to reach out to people, I have a full free guide of connection messages, because maybe you're going, okay, great, I can do this, but what do I say? It's literally called the But What Do I Say guide. You can grab that in the description box below and the show notes, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.